Welcome. February the 19th, Monday. The markets are closed, but I wanted to take a moment to go over a couple of things with you ahead of basically a review of last week, particularly Friday, and talk about a stock and some trades where I kind of got my ass handed to me, and that was in Valero. And I just wanted to go over the chart on Friday to kind of show you the mistakes that I made in hoping that you can avoid similar mistakes. Now, when I say mistakes, I mean I'm just overweight in a position right now that I do feel will come back. So I just wasn't able to get out of the position in the same day on Friday at a profit that I had hoped to. I did make some incremental profits throughout the day, but I'm now long in a position and I'm negative in that position going into Tuesday. And I do feel that next week, particularly prior to end of close Wednesday, I'm hoping for this to come back and be in the money. But let's just review kind of what I did. So I don't have the exact trades, but just going by memory here on the Friday, we see that the stock opened around 42.26, and I wasn't holding any of the stock at open. And so I just kind of sat and watched until about 10 o'clock. And as we see that, it dropped significantly down into the 140s. And I waited for a bit of a bounce, and I bought some in around the 140.50 mark. And then as that moved around, I ended up selling it in around the 140.80, 140.90 mark and getting rid of it. And then I waited a little longer and I bought some more in around the 140.60 when it dropped down there again. And again, I sat and waited, and I should have exited here at 140.80, but I held on to it. I bought a little bit more actually and added to my position at this point in around the 140.50s. And then I did sell in around 140.120, I think, somewhere in that region. So I did well in those trades. And then I watched it continue to go up. But then I bought some more back here around 140.104, thinking that it was going to continue its incline and increase. And I should have sold here, and I didn't. So I'm still holding something that I picked up around 104. And I'm watching it and watching it, thinking, okay, this thing's going to get up to probably 142. It's got to go back. And then sure enough, it took a dive down and it went down into the low 140s or mid 140s. So I thought, okay, well, it's definitely going to turn in around here. So I made another purchase at this point. And so now I'm heavily long in this position. And it did get back up to 140.88. But I thought it was going to get back up into the 141.20 range. So I was holding off and I was holding off and I continued to hold off. And even here, I think I had a sell order in for 141.34 and certainly didn't hit that. So I continued to watch this, and then it went on the decline, and it went on a decline that I was not anticipating and continued to decline. Now I did pick some up in the 139 range and added again to my position, thinking, oh, this is going to go back up to 140, 141, but it did not, and it finished the day well down at 139.54. So I'm going to need to get back up into the probably 141.30 range to take profits out of the different positions, and probably into the 140.75 range to kind of break even and get out of my position without any losses. So I'm going to watch closely what it does at open tomorrow, and it may go down further. And if it does, I may add a little to the position, just knowing that over the monthly chart, we have seen some dips. And what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for lows from other points in the month and most recent points in the month. So here we can see that it dipped down as low as 138.75. So we're at 139.54. It could drop down to 139.50 138.75 or in that range. And that's going to be what I would consider to be the resistance level. The next resistance level is going to be somewhere down here in the 137.26. Certainly hoping it doesn't get down there. If it does get down into 137, I think it's a very attractive buy because I do think it's going to rebound into the low 140s within the next week or two. That said, I can't predict the market, so this is not financial guidance or any means of looking at a crystal ball. It's just my predictions of what this stock is going to do. We've had some great stories come out over the weekend about Valero and the value of this. I believe it's the second largest oil refining company in the US. And its free cash flow is incredible. It's a cash generating machine, and it's got a super low price to earnings ratio, especially in comparing it to some of its peers. So I do think it is a great long-term hold. This week is not a great week to have long-term holds, as I alluded to in a previous video, but I just wanted to go through some of the mistakes that I made in a trade on Friday, just to bring you up to speed. The last thing I wanted to share with you is just an email that I subscribe to, and this is from Quiver Quantitative. And what I find interesting about this in a weekly review is it talks about congressional trades. So these are trades made by congresspeople in the US, and they usually have significant insider information and use that to their advantage in trading their own portfolios. So this just runs through a list of representatives, whether they're representatives or senators or people in key positions, and what they're doing in their positions that you can review and make decisions based on, or at least use to help guide your decisions and what you're making investments in. So I hope that helps. This is a free subscription email that you can sign up for at Quiver Quantitative. And I wish you all the best as a Wall Street Winners Group.